You can literally unalive yourself in these bikes. What is up, you guys? I am a little frustrated right now because I literally rode all the way over here, filmed the video, talked about everything I wanted to talk about, and when I pulled over to go to Cycle Gear right now to buy a big old wrench for this thing so I can adjust my chain, I looked over my GoPro and the footage deleted. All of that like 20-30 minutes of footage that I was just doing of me talking about what I wanted to talk about just flat out deleted. So now I have to do everything again. We're gonna hit the road right now. We're gonna hop back on this beautiful 25 Yamaha R1 that needs chain service pretty badly. Look at this. That is way more than 1 to 2 inches of play. I mean 1.5 inches of play, or maybe not, I don't know, but I think it needs chain service. I'm gonna do that when we get home. But in today's video, I've been seeing a lot of comments of how many people want this bike. They're saying this is my dream bike, or some of you are even saying you ordered it, or some of you even said that you're gonna go get it already. And for those of you who want this bike, or even to get into motorcycling already, I wanted to talk about some of the things that you need to know before you get into it, because there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to owning a motorcycle. Let's turn it on real quick. Yeah, let's see the backlights. Yeah, but anyways, let's hit the road so I can talk about some expectations versus realities when it comes to owning a motorcycle, because I know that there's a lot of misconceptions out there and a lot of expectations that don't actually come with the bike. But let's hit the road real quick and talk about it. I love those shifts. Alright, let's talk about one of the most obvious misconceptions and that everybody talks about online. Motorcycling is cheaper than owning a car. Just because the price of a motorcycle itself is cheaper than a car, guys, and most of the time the really nice ones and the really cool and fast ones are just about as expensive as a car, doesn't mean that it's cheaper. Even if you're to get yourself like a small liter, like a 300cc, 200, 100, you know, whatever it is, a small bike, it's still gonna run you about 7 to 8 grand after taxes. Okay, so now you're getting your bike, right? Now we have to talk about all the other things that come into play. One of the most obvious ones being your gear. You're gonna need your helmet, your pants, your gloves, your jacket, preferably an airbag underneath as well, and you know, your little music system, because don't wear AirPods, guys, it's like riding around deaf. You're gonna need your little cardo or whatever. And it's not gonna be cheap, guys. Each thing is gonna run you like anywhere between like $200 to $500. There's so many riders today, I'm so happy. $200 to $500 in gear for each thing, from glove, pants, jacket, boots, helmet. All that stuff is gonna add up, guys. But one piece of advice that I will give you guys right now that not a lot of people say or talk about when it comes to buying gear is don't cheap out and buy the starter gear. Don't buy the $200 jacket, mesh jacket, just because it's cheap. And that doesn't mean just quality wise, that's also like talking financially, because eventually you're gonna want to upgrade to the nicer, better quality, better protected gear, like full leather jackets, full leather suits, boots that go all the way up to your calves, your gloves, everything. You're eventually going to want to upgrade to that stuff. And if, for example, you waste your money on a starter $300 helmet, eventually you're going to need to upgrade to another one where you're driving a little crazier, driving a little faster, hitting the canyons a little harder. You're going to want a helmet that really protects you. And yes, you know, those little starter helmets do the job, but there's way better helmets out there for protecting your dome. So my advice to you is save up and buy the nice expensive gear first. Get that nice showy X14, or get the Alpine Stars like I did. I don't know, whatever nicer helmet there is out there, more protective, better looking, something that you like more, buy that one first, because in the long run you're gonna save yourself money and you're not gonna throw away $300 to $400 down the drain because you're not using that starter helmet anymore. Same with the jacket, because I did all of that. I bought a jacket well, honestly, my girlfriend bought it for me, but I bought like 2 helmets that I'm probably never going to use again now that I got the Alpine Stars, the SuperTech R10, and it's just a waste of money. But they were starter helmets. If I didn't buy those and I went straight to the R10, I would have saved myself a cool like $500, $600, like $800 now maybe. So don't cheap out on gear, and I don't mean just quality wise, I mean price wise. Like if you have a helmet in mind that you already really like and it's a super safe helmet, yes, it's going to be more expensive, but in the long run it's going to save you more money to buy that expensive gear now than buy cheap gear and then buy expensive gear and then just throw away the cheap gear, literally throwing away the money you spent on the cheap gear. But to bring it around, it's gonna be expensive riding a motorcycle, especially when you first start out and you need to buy your gear. That's all gonna add up very quickly. It's gonna be literally a down payment on a car for the amount of money you're gonna spend on gear. So keep that in mind, guys. It's very expensive to start riding. To start, like that's why I said start, because over time, once you have all your gear and stuff, then you don't have to think about it as much. But another thing you have to think about is the maintenance on these bikes. You have to do consistent maintenance on these things, especially one of the most important things you need to be constantly checking, apart from like your tires and stuff like that, is your oil and your chain. On a car, you could get away with like 10,000, maybe even 15,000 miles before doing an oil change. On a motorcycle, you're supposed to do it only every 3,000 miles. So you're changing this thing frequently, especially if you ride a lot like me. I'm a daily rider, so I know it's going to be hitting my pockets. The other thing is the chain. You have to keep up with that chain service. That's the reason I drove out here today. I came to buy a giant wrench so I can do my chain service for the first time on the R1. You have to do it, guys, because if you don't and this chain snaps on you, best case scenario is that it only hits your engine, cracks the engine, and you have to get a new engine. Worst case scenario, it hits your leg and you lose your leg for the rest of your life. So I know it seems kind of like tedious to do the chain service, but it takes like 10 minutes, guys. And if you're that lazy, go get it somewhere else. But they're gonna tax you. But that brings me to another point. When it comes to doing service on these bikes and taking it to a shop, you are gonna get taxed. I remember when I first started riding and I had my R3, I took it to get its first oil change because I didn't know any better, and I went to a shop and they charged me $285 for an oil change, guys, on a motorcycle. And looking back at it now that I know how easy it is to do an oil change on a motorcycle because Aaron showed me, that is such a waste of money. It's literally like one plug, that's it. You unscrew it, the oil comes out, you put the new plug, you pour the oil in. You don't need to jack up the motorcycle, you don't need any expensive or specific material or equipment, nothing like that. And I paid pretty much $300 for that. So if you're gonna get a motorcycle, I'd say A, learn how to service it yourself, or B, hit up the homie Aaron over at Starlux Auto so that he can do the work on the motorcycle for you guys, because one, he won't tax you and he actually knows what he's doing. But in case you guys don't live around the LA area and you can't take it to Aaron, just know that if you take it to a shop, you're gonna get taxed for labor, and it's gonna be very expensive. So learn how to do service yourself, because these motorcycle shops, since there's not a lot of them around, they will tax you because they know you have nowhere else to go. But yeah, all that stuff adds up, guys, and it's not going to be cheaper than owning a car. It'll be about the same, especially in that first year when you're putting everything together. You know, your little GoPro setup, your music setup, your gear. It's all gonna add up, guys. So don't think that getting a motorcycle, you're just gonna be saving money, especially if you're a new rider and you have to get everything. Woo! But it is super fun. Look at that skyline. Is that an R32 or an R33, guys? Comment down below. Damn. I love those giant single exhaust tips. It's so big. That thing is clean. But anyway, on to my next point. The other misconception that I hear about these bikes is that they're supposedly more practical than a car because you don't deal with traffic and you can just lane split. Guys, I like to think of these things not as a point A to B type of deal that it can get me to where it needs to get going. No, I think of these things as a hobby because they are so impractical. One, you can't give rides to anybody. Like, especially me, I have this tiny ass back seat. I haven't taken my girlfriend on it, but I know for a fact that once she sits on it, it's not going to be comfortable or it's not going to go well, especially on a semi-long ride because it's such a small seat. Because yeah, the upside of motorcycles is that you don't deal with traffic. Sure, but damn, this car is clean. Oh, and it's right-hand drive. Wow, that is beautiful. I'm gonna give it the nod of approval. But yeah, you'll be able to split through traffic and stuff, but you can't have a passenger. You can't carry pretty much anything on you. You can carry a bag, but even in a bag, you can't carry much. Like for me, when I go to the gym, I take, because I'm a boxer, I take my gloves, my headgear, my cup, my shoes, my wraps, my water, and a change of clothes to ride back after because I get all sweaty. And it's not fun carrying a big old crowded duffel bag on your back because it feels so stiff and uncomfortable. And I just don't like riding around with a backpack like that. You can literally carry nothing around. If you're just using it to go to like point A to point B with expecting to pick up nothing and expecting to take nothing, then sure, it's practical, but sorry. But when it comes to real world scenarios where you might need to pick something up or you might need to drop something off, there's no practicality in this at all, unless it's something super small and you can put it in a backpack. But just because you can lane split, guys, doesn't mean it's more practical. I promise you there's going to be lots of times where you wish you had a car or you wish you had more space to take something. Oh my god, this bike just pulled. Oh, I love this bike. I mean, when you're just riding to ride, you don't really care about practicality or comfort, to be honest. Alright, this other one is a bit of a funny one. It's like a little silly one that I've noticed online when I'm watching like TikToks or YouTube and seeing clips of people and stuff like that. When I check the comment sections, especially in those compilations of like motorcycle stuff, people are always like, man, getting a motorcycle is so easy to like attract a partner, you know what I mean? It's like you can just go up to girls or go up to guys on the motorcycle, just ask for their number, and then boom, you get their number and stuff like that. If you're buying a motorcycle, guys, for attention, like you're trying to be an attention seeker, I think that's kind of dumb because this is literally a death trap. You can literally unalive yourself in these bikes in any sort of accident. Doesn't matter if it's a 10-mile accident, doesn't matter if it's like a 100-mile-per-hour accident. You can unalive yourself on these things. You are a literal eggshell. That's why it's important to wear your gear. But even with gear, like surviving a motorcycle crash, the chances are very, very low. You get gear, sure, the chances go up, but they're still very, very low, if you know what I'm trying to say. So don't buy a bike if you're just trying to be an attention seeker. I see that so much in the freaking comment sections of YouTube videos, of TikToks, of Instagram, and it's kind of like frustrating and a little annoying that people want to do it just for attention. But don't expect that just because you get a bike, if you're a girl, that all the guys are going to come running at you trying to get you their number, or if you're a guy, that all the girls are going to come running at you trying to get your number. It's not like that at all, bro. Nobody cares that you're on the bike. Especially as a guy, the people that come up to you are just more guys, because they're kind of the only ones that really care about this stuff. Girls don't really care about this stuff, bro. So if you're getting a bike, get it because you actually like the idea of riding, because you actually like motorcycles, not because you're trying to be an attention seeker, bro. Don't do all that. But that's also a good follow-up to my next one, guys. Every single time you kick your leg over a seat, there's a chance of you not coming home from that ride. Doesn't matter if you're going around the corner to the liquor store, doesn't matter if you're going on a semi-long trip. All it takes is one incompetent driver that's not paying attention, or even you could commit a silly accident because you think you're a better rider than you're not. and you drive faster and you don't know what to do. These things are dangerous, guys. I feel like not a lot of people talk about that when I'm watching, or when I was watching videos of like how to ride a motorcycle, or like before you buy a motorcycle. People don't talk about how dangerous these things are. So please, guys, if you're getting a motorcycle, understand that it's not a toy. Even though you can do fun stuff like this, even if you can do, you know, little stuff like that, this thing is not a toy, guys. Try to ride semi-safe. Don't ride a little, you know, too crazy. Don't be always trying to cut up and bob and weave in and out of traffic all the time. It's just not worth it. If you see a little straight line, you know, I'm not encouraging any illegal activities, but everybody knows, even cops know, that if you buy these bikes, you're not buying them to just drive the speed limit all the time. So yeah, these bikes are fun, you know, they can get up there, you get in a lot of trouble if you're not smart, but all in all, they're death traps. Like, look at me. Right now, I'm only wearing my NBT pants. I didn't wear my jacket. But even if I was wearing my jacket, 76 miles per hour. If I crash and go flying off of this thing, I'm done. I hate to say it, but I'd be done. Even if I managed to survive, I would have permanent damage to my body where I would never be the same again. And I know that's very dark when it comes to people watching this video because they want a motorcycle, but I'm telling you the truth. It's extremely dangerous, and that's something you really have to take into account. And some people have to take it more into account than others, because some of you are on the older side with kids and a family. Some of you are on the younger side with parents who care about you, siblings who care about you, friends who care about you. And you can't just be riding around like you're invincible, because yeah, sometimes on these bikes you can feel like you're invincible, like if you're free and you have no care in the world. But the second you do that is the second you can get into some really bad situations. So just make sure you're riding safe, guys. Get yourself a semi-loud exhaust so people can hear you. Try not to wear all black on a blacked out bike in the middle of the night. You know, just be smart. Like this right here, I'm not driving too crazy. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna coast through until there's no traffic. Don't ever try to, I don't know. It's not, I'm just trying to say it's not worth it to drive like what's a word I can use that YouTube won't unmonetize me? You guys know what I'm saying. Just be smart, drive smart, ride smart. I mean, just get home to your, just make sure you get home to your family or your dog or your hamsters, whoever's waiting for you at home. And if you know, there's people out there that go through a lot and they don't have anybody waiting for them at home, man, I'm waiting for you, bro. I'm waiting for you to come home after a hard day, and hopefully I can have a YouTube video up and you can comment down below and you and me can talk a little. There's people out there that you know, they have it harder than others, guys, so just drive safe. Anyway, let's get off of the sad topics. Let's talk about some downshifts. Oh my god. Whoa. But after everything is all said and done, guys, these things are so much fun. Like, the experience that these give you is just undescribable. I can't describe, nobody can describe how a motorcycle makes you feel until you hop on one. That's why most people will be like, you're not afraid to die on that thing? You're gonna die on that thing. Why would you do that? That's such a waste of money, and it's just so dangerous. There's no point in doing it. The only people who say that are riders. Are people who aren't riders, sorry. The people who will tell you to get a bike are riders, because even though they know the dangers and the cost of this stuff, they still wish that other people can experience the feeling that motorcycles give you, because it really is unreal and unexplainable. Like, listen to these downshifts. Listen. Oh my god. That cross lane sound, man, it never gets old. There's nothing like it. There is nothing like it at all. But there's my gas light. Time to go put gas. I'm not even surprised. That thing is on. That gas light is on most of the time, bro. That should just always be on at this point, because I'm always putting gas. But I mean, you guys see what I've been doing sometimes. Look at that G80. Oh, 2 G80s. They're cutting up too. Yeah, like, don't do that on the bike, guys. They're a little more protected on inside of those cars. I'm just a sack of blood on this bike, so you'll never catch me cutting up like that. But anyway, I'm gonna go put gas. If you did enjoy the video and you want to see more R1 content, more motorcycle content, and car content, because I'm gonna go to car meet soon enough again. And I'm gonna go car shopping again because I do need a car. Make sure you subscribe, because I try to post often. I reply to all my comments and my subscribers. I like to really engage with you guys. If there's any other riders out there who want to talk about other expectations versus reality that I might have not talked about, because I know I only talked about like the main ones, feel free to comment it down below, because there's a lot of other riders who will, or new riders who will watch this video and they're gonna go down there and they'll read it too. So if you guys have any other tips for other riders, make sure you comment it down below so that they can be aware of it. But that's it for today's video. I'm gonna go put gas and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.